Teaching letter sounds. Today we're going to break down how to teach letter sounds with the best 2 songs that I have found. You can find them right here on YouTube. Using these songs to teach letter sounds is fun. It's easy. Your kids are going to love it. You're going to love it. We're going to take a deep dive into some easy prep, engaging activities that you can do with these 2 songs. What are the 2 songs? I'm glad you asked. Let's go find out. Are you ready? Here we go. Today is all about learning letter sounds. It's a cornerstone skill in kindergarten and even for some of your first graders. But how do you make it fun and engaging so that it's just not worksheet after worksheet after worksheet? No. Today we're going to use the best 2 songs that I have found, and believe me, I've tried some songs out. These are the best 2 that worked in my classroom. So what's the first one? The first one is by Dr. Jean. And if you don't know Dr. Jean, then you need to know Dr. Jean. And the song is Who Let the Letters Out? Who let the A out? All right? It is the best song. When I taught kindergarten, we started learning that song the very first day of school. Here's what you do. You get the song. It's on YouTube. It's on Spotify. It's wherever. Look up Dr. Jean, Who Let the Letters Out. You'll find it. And think about what you want to do in a day. I would take 5 or 6 letters in a day and teach the song with it. So, who let the A out? Is how the song goes, right? And then what I did is I made a chart. Can you see the chart behind me right here? This chart was essential. I'm trying to get the whole chart in there without getting me in there. This chart was essential when I was teaching with this song and the letters, identification and the sounds, letter sounds. So, who let the A out? And then we would put an action to our letter. So we would do this. Now, here's what I would do. I would do this with the class, and I would say, we're all going to make up the actions together. And so you guys show me what an alligator would be. And, you know, the boys are on the floor flopping around. Some kids are doing this. Some kids are doing, And I always knew that I wanted A to be because after years of teaching with this, my brain only knew one action. If I was going to switch it up, I wouldn't make a mistake. So I would say, okay, you guys, what action can we do for alligator? And like I said, there would be some kids flopping around, doing all sorts of things. And I would just pick one kid out that was doing the action the way I wanted and be like, oh yeah, Jason. We're going to use Jason's this time. So everybody, let's try it. Who let the A out? Excellent. Let's go on to B. What is this? B. It's a baby. What are some actions we can do for baby? And they'd be like, and they do all sorts of actions. And I'm like, okay, everybody show me. Oh, yes. Thomas. We're going to use this one. Who let the B out? B. All right. So this is perfect for those beginning letter sounds. Now, you're probably asking me, where'd you get that chart? It's a great chart. And this chart is also going to go with the second song we're going to talk about in just a second. This chart is from, here's I found it on TPT. It's Teaching with Love and Laughter. That's the store. And the name of this resource is Learning Letter Sounds Booklets, Flashcards, Games, Posters, and more. Okay? So check that out if you want to make this poster. Or this chart. So what I did is I downloaded the resources, and then when I printed these are meant to be printed on a 8.5 by 11, but when I printed them, I just chose to print 4 per page, and then I could cut them out easily, put them on a chart like this, arrange it, and then I would always laminate it in my classroom because we used it all the time, which we're going to talk about some activities to use with this chart. So you chunk up the song, Who Let the Letters Out. First day you learned 5 or 6 letters. The next day you learned 5 or 6 more letters. You know, by the end of the week, you have all the letters and you have a song that you can use with your class, getting them up and moving, because we know that that movement helps everything, right? They're learning their letter sounds, they're moving, they're looking. I would have my happy helper be pointing. Where's my pointer? My happy helper would be with the pointer. Who let the A out? And the happy helper would be pointing as we went to help the kids along. Okay, not sure what the happy helper is? Go over here. I love the happy helper. Go over here is the video on happy helper. All right, so you have a chart, you're singing and you're doing actions. What else can you do with this chart? Well, one thing that I used to do is put it at a station, and putting it at a station is great. They can sing, they can point, whatever. But what I would encourage my students to do after they got really good is I would start getting rid of either the picture, so they would have to think of what the picture was. What is that? An insect. Or I would get rid of the whole picture. What I'm trying to do is get them away from here and get them in here, right? Take away some of that visual, make them visualize in their head, make them really think, oh, what's next? What's next? What's next? What's the sound? So that they have that in their head. Okay, so that's one fun activity that you can do with that. Another one is to get some sticky notes, write the letters on them, or they can write the letters on them, and then use it as a matching game. Okay, so they have all the sticky notes, they can match it up, they can sing the song. Another fun thing that I would do with this song and with this chart is do like a little pop quiz. So if we're in line and we're waiting or something like that, or sometimes just spontaneously I would call out, who let the bee out? And they would have to like do a call and response back. B, b, b. Who let the Z out? Z, 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 z. All right. Or like, who let the G out? And they responded back, g, 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 g. So instead of class, class, yes, yes, I would say, who let the G out? G, 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 g. And then I had their attention. So I could use it as a call and response. Works magic. I kind of called it like a pop quiz. Pop quiz, who let the G out? G, 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 g. The next thing that you can do with learning letter sounds, let's go ahead and jump on over and take a look at an activity that I used to do with my students. So here's the activity I would do with my students. We would make an alphabet book and they would create it on their own. When they were done, they had their own alphabet book with everything from a sentence to a picture with words, with the letters. It was all right there. This was theirs. So their name went on it first because or on the back, because when you're compiling these, and when you do compile these, I used to have like a folder, and when they were done, they just put it in their alphabet folder. And then when they were completely done, A through Z, we would just make the book. So who let the D out? D, d, d. So they would write the D and figure out some words that start with D. And this song is, right, who let the dogs out, right? They had to draw a house, any house that they liked, and inside had to be something that began with their letter. So in this case, it's a donut, and there's a lot of different ways to spell donut. Who knew? And so they would make the picture, and then down here, they would write who let the D out. So now you're probably wondering, what is the second song? And the second song is one you can find right here on YouTube. It's by Jack Hartman. It's called Learning Letter Sounds. And this poster goes right with it. The pictures that he shows and everything is actually corresponds with that Teaching with Love and Laughter product that we talked about earlier. It corresponds right with it. So I would make posters of each letter, and depending on, sometimes we would do who let the letters out, sometimes we would do learning letter sounds. It was part of our everyday routine, and I would sit with the posters and learning letter sounds A to Z, learning letter sounds you and me. See, I know this by heart. Clap your hands, 1, 2, 3. Learning sounds can help me read and write. A says alligator. And then I would flip it down. B says baby. All right. And we would just keep going until the song was done. Now, what can you do with those cards as well? Put them in a station. Mix them all up, have them put it in alphabetical order. That's one really great way to do it. If you're going to do this in alphabetical order, here's a pro tip. Make it an out in the hallway station that they can just line it up on the hallway, get them in alphabetical order. It's a super fun activity that goes along with the song. Another fun thing to do with the cards in a station is to use the cards to see if they can spell the sight words out. Okay, and one more free activity that I want to share with you is this one right here. It's called Letter Matching Spinner Game. It's a game that I made. I am putting a link down below for you to get a free sample of this game. And it is, well, let's go over and look underneath. They all come with a QR code that the kids can just scan, or literally, sometimes don't you just get a game out and you're like, how do I play this? The directions are down here, but sometimes it's nice just to see how somebody's playing it so you can scan that and play it. So to play is really easy. You spin and then you color in the corresponding letter. So if I spin a lowercase a, I color in an uppercase A. Once I get all of these lightning bugs, then I can capture this capital, okay? Free sample for you down below so that you can get more fun activities for teaching letter sounds. Remember to like this video and subscribe to Teachers Making the Basics Fun. I love giving tips and tricks to teachers just like you to make your teacher life amazing, because you're amazing. Remember, the creator of the universe loves you, and I think you're pretty amazing too. Happy learning those letter sounds. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.